Hello, Hannah the Suburban Witch here, and today we're talking about how to know if your spell has or hasn't worked. In today's video, I'll be going through what you can look for to know if your spell has worked or not worked, depending on the type of spell that you have made, and what you can do about it as well. If you're new to my channel, I'm Hannah the Suburban Witch, an intuitive tarot reader and astrologer, and I love sharing all of my witchy tips with you here on YouTube. I release a video every Wednesday, and you can find me over on TikTok, Instagram, Patreon, Facebook, and my website, suburbanwitchery.com. So, you've cast your spell, you've done your working, and now you're curious, has it worked? How will I know? Well, there's a few key ways, and it's going to depend on the type of spell that you cast. I'm just going to give a couple of examples here, and we can always do another video with more examples if need be at a later date. So I'm going to start with a spell jar, because these are so popular. I know you guys love spell jars. So for example, this one here, it's just a tiny little spell jar. Now, what you can do is, when you're making it, you're probably not going to know straight away if it's worked, depending on what you've made it for. So I made this one to help me through pregnancy, through the nausea, the emotional support that I needed. Like I needed a gentle, caring, nurturing hug. That's what this intention was for, and to help me with my pregnancy and any of the symptoms associated. So what I did was put that into this and then popped it on my altar to charge it up. And when I need an extra boost, when I'm going, oh, I feel really crappy, come and I give it a shake, and then that almost re-energizes it. But if I had come up to this jar and I'm going, oh, I'm still feeling really, nauseous, or this is happening, or I'm not feeling any better. And if I came up to this jar and suddenly realized that all of this wax that I'd sealed it with had broken off, or had fallen off, or was cracking off, or was sitting around it, to me, that would be a sign that, oh, something's not going right here. I don't think this worked. Maybe the energy's off, maybe it's not the right type of spell, maybe I wasn't clear in my intention, maybe my energy was off when I made it, that sort of thing. Maybe I used things inside it, ingredients that were not harmonizing together and didn't want to be together, that sort of thing. The other thing that would be a telltale sign would be mold in or around your jar, or anything that looks like it's rotting, or if there was a dead fly right on top of it or around it, that to me would be like, oh, something's not right here, something's not doing what it should. Now, this is another spell jar that I have currently going on my altar. It'll be there for a while. Now, what you could look for as well, especially in a larger jar like this, would be cracks in the jar, or this has got sand and herbs in there. If there was any symbols that had shown up in this sand on the inside of the jar, or even in the little wax at the top, that didn't really bode well or didn't look right. Those sorts of things are going to be things to look out for to see what it is. And that's a really good thing to read any wax residue that's left over. Read the glass on a spell candle if it's a glass one. And same with any spell candles like this. So if you're doing a spell candle and you're watching it burn and this candle starts to tilt and go ooh, and droop over like this, that's not a good sign. That's a sign straight away that that spell's not really working. Or if your spell candle has burnt all the way down to the bottom and the wax at the bottom maybe does a big X, or does another symbol that is opposite to what you're wanting, like if it's a love spell and you would like to see a love heart but it looks like a broken love heart, or a love heart with something going through it, those are things that would tell you this is not working, the energy is not right with this. Either it's the wrong type of spell or it's something else has gone wrong along the way. Obviously, one of the easy ways to tell if your spell has worked is if your intention has come true. So that can be something that's hard to wait for because it doesn't always happen in the timing that we want. And a little bit of advice here is do not pull up in doubt what you planted in faith. So if we plant a seed outside, we're not going to be scratching around that soil every couple of days. Have you sprouted yet? Do you have roots yet? Because that's going to mess up the process. It needs that darkness. It needs that time. We need to be patient to see if it germinates. It's the same with magic. Any intention, any ritual, any working that you do to put energy out there into the universe needs time to have its effect. So we need to have that faith. If we keep thinking on it and keep mulling on it, it's less likely to happen. What I like to do is do my spell, forget about it, out of my mind. Come to it if I need to, give it a little shake, something like that. Check it out, make sure it's looking all right. But other than that, put it out of your mind, okay? The more you focus on has it worked, the less likely it's gonna work. So I hope this has helped you. I hope this has given you some tips on what to look for. Now, if it hasn't worked and you've got one of those spell jars and you're like, oh, it's gone all moldy and it's not looking good, what you can do, open it up, empty the contents somewhere that is safe to do so, whether that's a trash can. You can bury it away from your property because it's not worked, so put it away from your property. And then you can either recycle the glass or, you know, clean it out really thoroughly and reuse it again. So I hope this has helped you today. Let me know if you have any questions, just pop them in the comments below, and I'll chat to you next time. Bye.